This video is part of a series of SSIS tutorial videos created by COZYROC. In this video, I will show you how to configure a package that uses the full outer join type in the merge join transformation. So what the full outer join does when using the merge join transformation is it will include every row or the data from every row in either the left input or the right input. The choice of which input is considered left or right doesn't matter in this situation, but that's still how I'll refer to the inputs. I'm going to use this table data as the left input in this demonstration, and the phone column there will be used as the ID to sort and to match the rows. And you can see there we also have a first name and last name column that have data in them, and then we have a gender and age column that do not have data. They just are all null. And we do have 100 records in this table. And then we have an Excel file that I'll be using as the right input, and it has 102 records. And there are some rows in here that do not have a match in the table, and there are some rows in the table that do not have a match in here. So we'll see that in the output. And this again has the phone to be used as the ID. And then we have a gender and age column to be filled in when the rows match. So I'll close that, and now we'll go to Visual Studio, and we'll start with our data flow task and double click to go over to the data flow canvas. I'm going to go ahead and define the connection managers. So I'll set up the OLE DB connection for the table input. That's also the same database where we will write the output table. And we'll click OK. And then I'll set up a connection manager for the Excel file. And we need to find the path, which is right here. And we click OK. And then we'll go find the OLE DB source component, drag that onto the canvas. We'll use this to read input from table. And double click to open the editor, and we need to find the table, and it is called student data, and we'll preview that, and that's the data we just looked at over in Management Studio. Click OK to close that editor, and then we'll use the Excel source component, and we'll use this to read input from Excel. We'll double click to open that editor. It's already selected the Excel connection manager we set up, and we need to select the name of the sheet, which is students, and we'll preview that. That's what we just looked at in Excel. I'll close that, close the editor, and now we need to sort the data before we can feed it in to the merge join. So I'll drag the sort out underneath the table data, double click to open the editor. You can see we're already passing through all of the columns, and we'll select phone as the column to sort on. And then we'll do the same thing for the Excel data. And again, select phone. And we're passing through all of the columns. And then we'll click OK. Stay tuned to see how I complete the configuration of the package and execute it. Now we'll find the merge join transformation and drag that onto the canvas. And we'll connect the sorted data from the table. And for input, we do need to select whether we want to consider that the left input or the right input. It doesn't really matter, but I'll select the merge join left input. And that means this will be the merge join right output. And then we need to select the join type, which we're doing full outer join in this demo. And so it's already figured out that we're going to be doing the matching based on the phone column. And then we need to select what we want passed through to the output. So we know we have data in the phone, the first name and the last name, but there's no data in the gender and age columns in the table, so we don't need to pass that through. And then we're going to select all of the columns from the Excel file. So for the few records that only exist in the Excel file, we want to get that phone column information. And then we're going to rename things as they come out so that we can tell which input they came from. So for this phone, it's coming from the table, which is considered our left input, so I'll put _L for that name, column name, _L for the first name, _L for the last name. And then for this second column that contains a phone, I'm going to put _R because it's coming from the right input, and same for the gender, and same for the age. All right, now we'll close that editor. And then the last thing we want to do is to write the output to a table. So I'll use the OLE DB destination and be using this to write output to table. And we'll connect the arrow from the merge join. We'll double click to open the editor. It's already selected the same connection manager, which is what we want. And then I'll find the correct table, and it's called merged student data. And we'll just make sure that table is empty, and it is. And there's all the new column names in there that has the _L and _R. And we'll close this, and now we click on mappings. And everything got mapped correctly here. And then we'll close that editor. And now we'll save the package and execute it. And it completed successfully. And here you can see our output from the merge join has 105 rows. So that means that we got all 100 rows from the table, and then there were an extra 5 apparently that came in from the Excel file, that the phone numbers didn't match anything in the table data. So now we'll stop debugging and we'll go take a look at that output over here in Management Studio. And so here's the output from the merge join. You can tell which input the data came from by the column names, and you can tell that the rows that have nulls in the first 3 columns only existed in the Excel file, and the rows that have nulls in the last 3 columns only existed in the table. Any rows with data in all 6 columns had input from both the table and the Excel file. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to follow us on social media, here's how you can do that.